Hey, what's going on? I'm Commander Wayne, and today I have something very special for you guys. Introducing the new Chord Engine Genesis, and this thing is going to take your chord game to a whole new level. Now, Chord Engine Genesis, now I call it Genesis because it's going to be the spark and the start of a lot of new great ideas and inspiration. Now, not only does it allow you to play chords more realistically with the press of a key, but it also has a full 6 GB sound library. You also have a highly usable arpeggiator. You have route out capabilities. You can route it out to your favorite VSTs. You can transpose in octave. You can transpose in semitones. And finally, we have the ability to export the MIDI chords to any VST of your choice. Drag and drop them into your favorite VST of choice, and it's done in such a great way it's going to increase your workflow. We'll get to that in a minute. So Chord Engine Genesis allows you to play chords using one key more realistically than ever. You can program up to 12 different chords, and each chord can have a different strum pattern, giving you the variation and realism of hand-played chords. So right now I'm just going to demonstrate how to strum this chord here programmed on E3. Now that key is selected on the interface, and all I have to do is click the Properties tab for each highlighted note to bring up its settings. And I'm just going to adjust the timing offset slightly. Adjust the velocity. Another great feature of Chord Engine Genesis is the ability to record the chords to MIDI. Now I can then drag and drop my MIDI chord performance onto any track or VST of my choice. So I'm just going to hit record and play. Let's stop the recording, and all we have to do is drag and drop. Now I have a keyscape pulled up. Let's select the sound. Rich ballad looks good. Now I'm just going to drag and drop onto the track. And voila. As you can see, my chords are exactly as I played them, with all of the details of the customization that I did in the Chord Engine. Now I can go in here and further edit these MIDI chords in any way that I like them. Okay. Chord Engine Genesis also has an onboard arpeggiator. You can easily arpeggiate your chords by going to the Arpeggiator tab and turning on the mode to on. Now, as you can see, if I turn it off, it goes back to playing chords. Turn it on, it's going to arp. Here you have many options. You can adjust the time and rate of the arp. You can adjust the rhythm. You can create your own arp rhythms with the velocities. You can change the steps, increase them or decrease them. You can apply swing to the arp. You can adjust the duration of the notes. And then of course you have the different rates, which will apply the speed of the ARP. You can also adjust how the ARP is played. You have all kind of cool options here that you can experiment with. You can change the octave and so forth. Now I'm going to go ahead and record the ARP to MIDI. This will record the notes exactly as they're coming out of the ARP, and you'll have an arpeggiated note sequence that you can drag and drop to any VST. I have something pulled up already. Let's go ahead and drag it into FL keys. And there you have your ARPed notes. Here you have a full interface for sculpting your sound. You have various filters and effects to help you customize and dial in on the right sound. All right, now you simply click the on-off switches to turn effects on and off. All right, I'm gonna take this pad and we're gonna see what we can do with it. So here you have your ADSR, your attack, sustain, decay, and release. You have a high pass filter, low pass filter. You have some distortion. You have the damping of the distortion. I'm gonna dampen this distortion. We're gonna go with a dark field. You have your reverb. You have the low cut of the reverb. Here we have a vowel filter. Kind of change the pronunciation of your sound. I like that. You have a phaser effect. This already has phaser. We have some tape saturation. Okay. I like that. All right, let's see what it sounds like without it. With it. Okay, here we have a delay effect. You can adjust the timing it's a loose timing, so you can get the timing just right the way you want it. This is kind of sloppy. The Chord Engine Genesis features a full 6 GB internal library that you can further tweak to your own liking. There's no need for external sounds. It does have its own sounds. I'm just going to go through a few of these here. It's easy to transpose your performance at any time. All you have to do is go to the Transpose tab, and here you can transpose your chords in half notes or by octave. This is also how you change the key. So if you want to go from this D major up to an E major, all you have to do is go up to half notes or semitones in this case, and you've got E major. Here you can transpose by octave. Most chords aren't going to sound real good in the low register. Now you can also do a combination of the two. Now if you wanted to go up an octave and you also wanted to transpose up, say, a half note or two, you can do that as well. So that's a real good feature to have. Chord Engine Genesis runs in the full version of Kontakt. Now here I have Kontakt pulled up inside of Reason, and most of you are familiar with the Libraries tab, but we're going to focus on the Files tab, and this is where we're going to load up our Chord Engine Genesis. Now the first thing you want to do is make sure you open the settings with this little gear at the top, and we're going to go to our engine settings, and right here where it says send MIDI to outside world, you want to make sure that only the GUI keyboard and script generated notes are selected. Now, any other combination will not allow the chord engine to function properly, so make sure that only these two are selected. Now, you only have to set this once and you can forget it. So when you run the installation of Chord Engine Genesis, the installer will also place a folder on your computer called Chord Engine Genesis. Now, on a Mac, it's going to be in your libraries, and on a PC, it should be in your documents folder. Now, this is where you'll find the Chord Engine Genesis. Now, here inside your progression presets folder, you have a library of reliable, inspiring chord progression presets that you can load up and take off with. Now, if you purchase this during the pre-launch sale, you're also going to get all of my previous chord progression sets included. Now, that's hundreds of presets, and those will be available as a free update expansion pack. Now, you might want to do a batch resave before you load, just to make sure the plugin loads up nice and quick, especially if you're on a slower computer. Now, in order to do that, we're going to go to the top level folder, click on the first instrument, then we're going to go to this this disc at the top, and then we're going to go down to batch resave, and it's going to give you this dialog. Just make sure you hit yes. Now you're going to navigate to your Chord Engine Genesis folder. In this case, my libraries, and then here's Chord Engine Genesis. Hit open, and it's going to go ahead and batch resave everything and make sure it loads up nice and quick for you. Now, once that completes, let's go ahead and double click on the blank Chord Engine Genesis _ full instrument icon. And here we have a blank slate with no chords programmed yet. Everything is set to default. And now it's going to load up. And I like to click on this icon here so that only my plugin is showing. Now, the Chord Engine Genesis is very straightforward and user-friendly. It's designed to be very quick and painless when it comes to clicking in chords, modifying your chords, and how they're played. Now, these keys here represent keys on your keyboard, starting from middle C or C3, going up to middle B or B3 on your keyboard. Now, by selecting a key, you can program that key on your keyboard to play any chord in amazing detail. All you have to do is use the virtual keyboard here to click in the notes that you want played in your chord. So now let's click on our middle C, and here we have a basic chord programmed. And as you can see, we can easily click off the notes, easily click them in, reprogram a chord. Okay. And here we also have properties tabs for each note in the chord, which allows you to create realistic strumming patterns and realistic fills using the velocities, the timing offset, and the release of each note. Okay, now in this version we have the strum up capability. In the next version that we'll be releasing soon, we'll have the ability to strum down the notes as well, which will be very awesome. So as you can see, all of the property tabs for the black keys are on the top, and all of the property tabs for the white keys are on the bottom, and it's just really quick and easy. You can always simply point and click and get your adjustments going. Okay, so now we're going to click on the next key, which is our D flat, and let's program something here. Let's program something on D. Okay. And as you can see, when I switch to the next key, it'll show me exactly what I have programmed. It'll show me exactly what I have programmed on the note. Okay. So very easy, basic, and straightforward. Also, if there's no key selected, I can then play this like a normal instrument. So it plays like a normal instrument. Now, if you select a key, it's going to then play chords. Now you can hear how I can also play keys in the upper octave or the lower octave, so I can play melodies in my left or my right hand as I'm playing these chords. So you also have access to change the sound from the Chord Engine as well. And right now, I'm just going to go ahead and record something since we're in Reason right now. And I just want to show you guys that you can use this plugin in any program. Really, all you have to do is hit record, and then you're going to stop the recording and then simply drag and drop. right. And that's pretty much it for the Chord Engine Genesis. Very quick, very straightforward, very easy to use.